One of the most perplexing things about social media marketing is wrangling all the social sites you're on and knowing what, when, and how often to share content. Hi, I'm Denise Wakeman, your host and guide to better visibility on the web. You're listening to an occasional added feature on the Adventures in Visibility podcast, where I answer questions you ask. If you have a question about how to create better visibility for you and your business, go to denisewakeman.com/askdenise to record your question. Now, for today's question from Trudy Van Buskirk. How many times a day do you have to post to get visibility? It's not the first time I've been asked this question over the years. A decade ago it was, how often should I post on my blog? Now it's, how often should I post, insert social networking site? The first thing to get out of the way is that there are no rules and everyone has an opinion. There is no right way or right time to post. It's tempting to want to follow someone else's formula, and that's great for a guideline in setting up your initial schedule. Ultimately, though, you need to test and experiment to find what works for your followers and what you can comfortably sustain on a consistent basis. Then you have to tweak and test some more. The second thing you need to be clear on your goals for social marketing and the outcome you're looking for as you build your visibility on the web. All this depends on what's happening in your business. Are you launching a new product or service? Are you building your list? Do you want people to register or buy your thing? Or are you in a phase where you primarily want to build awareness for your business? Finally, the third thing is that building visibility is about more than posting your own and curated content on your social networks. What is going to help you stand out is how much you engage with the people in your networks. Do you reply to comments? Do you read, like, comment, and share the content of others? If you drop a link into a status update, move on, and never return, you will not be visible for long, and your community will move on to others who are more accessible. So let's get back to Trudy's question. How many times a day do you have to post to get visibility? Trudy doesn't ask about a specific network, and each one has its own flow and character. Now, I could be really flip and simply say, it depends, but I'll take it a little further and tell you what I generally recommend when working with my clients around this question. 1. Decide how much time per day you can commit to spending time on your networks. I generally recommend that 30 minutes is a good place to start, 30 minutes a day. 2. Pick 2 to 3 networks where you know your ideal audience spends most of their time. Survey your list or social content contacts to find out if you don't know. 3. Focus most of your time on those 2 to 3 networks, even if you're active on more social sites. To build awareness, you need to be consistently offering value, and rather than flit from site to site, focus on a couple for a month or two and then add another one to the layer. 4. To make things simple, use the 80-20 rule. For example, if you post 5 times per day on Twitter, 4 tweets should be sharing other people's content, otherwise known as OPC, and 1 tweet should be your own content, your own original content. Track how many comments and retweets you get on the posts. Do more of what works. You can use a tool like Hootsuite or Buffer to manage your status updates. 5. When sharing your own content, think about how many ways it can be repurposed and shared. A blog post can be shared on all networks as a link with some commentary. You can create an image for your blog posts and share those on Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google+. Take an excerpt of a couple of quotes from your article to create a new round of tweets and status updates with a call to action to read the full article. Now, there have been hundreds of studies and analyses about the best frequency for posting. When I did a Google search on the question, how often should you post on social media, I got back a whopping 11,900,000 results. This question has been asked and answered a lot. I reviewed a few of the recent articles and found a post by Kevin Lee on the Buffer blog called The Social Media Frequency Guide. It has good info in it and references a lot of the studies. So I recommend reading the entire post to get the reasons why. Excuse me. But if you just want to skip to the takeaways at the end, you'll have a place to start your own experiments. Now, some of the takeaways I'll share with you. Post to Twitter at least 5 times a day. If you can swing up to 20 posts, you might be better off. Post to Facebook 5 to 10 times a week. Post to LinkedIn once per day or 20 times a month. And as Kevin also says, always be testing, experimenting, iterating, and improving. The line between informative and annoying may be super slim, but it's one you can find with little practice. End quote. I also ran across an infographic that lays out a plan for how to rock social media in 30 minutes a day. When you look at the infographic, look at it through the lens of your business and refer to my suggestion number 2 above to pick 2 or 3 networks that match the demographics you want to reach, and instead start with 10 minutes a day on each one. And then, referring back to what Kevin Lee says in the image above, always be testing, experimenting, iterating, and improving. In the infographic, which you can see at denisewakeman.com, you will see that they have a pretty simplistic suggestion, and you would have to tweak this for your own specific situation. Their recommendation, and it's by a company called Pardot, is 10 minutes on Twitter for responding, scheduling, and sharing, 6 minutes on Facebook for responding to comments and engaging, let's see what else, and promoting and sharing your own content and images, 6 minutes on LinkedIn for promoting your professional content, sharing to groups, and asking questions, 4 minutes on Pinterest, and they suggest pinning any recent internal and external content and engaging with your recent pinners. So you can thank them for repinning and liking your pins as well. Also sharing their pins. And then 2 minutes on Google+. Share any recent content to your circles, ask questions, and start conversations. Oh, and the final 2 minutes on Instagram. And this is where you can take fans behind the scenes with pictures of your staff, events, etc., content that you can share. There are apps that help you share content from Instagram, and also posting quotes to inspire your followers in a stylized format. Now, this is not the format I personally follow. For example, I spend way more time on Google Plus because I get so much more engagement there. So again, you have to take a look at your own business and where the people that you need to connect with are most active, and adjust those times for your own business. Now there's one last thing. It takes time to create a visible presence. You cannot set it and forget it. Your visibility is a direct result of your effort and how consistent you are with posting and connecting with the people in your networks. So my question for you now is, how often do you post on the various social networks, and are you getting the results you want? Thanks for joining me for this quick episode of Ask Denise on Adventures in Visibility. To subscribe to the podcast, please go to adventuresinvisibilitypodcast.com. If you have a question about online visibility or social marketing that you'd like me to answer on the show, go to denisewakeman.com/askdenise. Till next time, have an adventurous day.